Alright. Hello everyone. Let's go ahead and get into the results of my dissertation. So, theme 1, leadership traits. Leadership traits determine the success of a positive restorative justice outcome. Leadership qualities that create effective restorative justice solutions are empathy, understanding, patience, communication, knowing thyself, flexible, calm, helpful, spacious, cultural humility, more listening and less talking, taking notes, self-awareness, open mind, emotional intelligence, embrace diverse perspectives, committed, and creates a path for success. And the participants were asked what leadership characteristics, traits, and qualities create the best environment for restorative justice. P1 talked about there are so many characteristics of leadership that each characteristic can have a benefit to produce an environment for restorative justice. I think the first characteristic is a dedication to producing a low turnover and the benefits that come from the production of a low turnover. The second thing has to be empathy, understanding, patience, and communication. You have to be able to empathize with what the associate is dealing with and have an understanding and a perception from their perception. You have to have patience in attempting to correct the behavior because it can take time due to what the underlying issue is. You have to be able to communicate with the associate in such a way that it does not isolate them and you engage them back in the workplace. P8 continued to add value to define the characteristics of restorative justice leaders, traits and qualities to create the best environment, being at home with oneself, open to whatever may come up, flexible, and the ability to be calm are helpful. A relaxed manner, a feeling of spaciousness while respecting time and cultural competency or cultural humility are useful and put people at ease. P7 added to the consensus by stating the leadership characteristic traits and qualities to create the best environment for RJ would be, RJ being restorative justice, would be firstly self-awareness. Clear your own lens and biases first. Educate yourself about your own biases. Be open to feedback. And it is important to embrace diverse perspectives. Being an effective communicator is also important, and having good active listening skills. Listen before you speak. Emotional intelligence is something that we are focusing more on with being able to control your own emotions and handle interpersonal relationships well, inspiring others and guiding others rather than directing people. It makes people feel comfortable to be around you. In a restorative justice environment, you need to already know how to respond instead of reacting to conflict or a difficult situation. And this is something that's key right here because this right here um, comes up in the leadership thing that I talked about where it was talking about the reactive mind. Remember, there's the egotistical mind and then the reactive mind right here, reacting to conflict. That's something you don't want to do. You need to already know how to respond instead of reacting to conflict. And the reactive mind is part of the lower mind. So when conflict comes, you kind of need to try and space yourself away. Try to get out of that heat of the moment situation. Okay, and then respecting others and always having a positive attitude are important for restorative justice. P6 felt that restorative justice leaders should foster a sense of community. P10 believed that a leader should create a family unit. P6 also stated a leader should model authenticity, vulnerability, and empathy. The input from the participants led to a leader with a strong focus and vision to bring people together, know themselves, and have a respectful understanding of others and situations. The participants emphasized positivity and bringing associates together to form a community or a family environment. The characteristics that the participants wrote value a restorative justice leader that has a creative, integral, or unitive mind. Okay. Now, theme 2 is safe environment. The effectiveness of restorative justice solutions depends on creating a safe environment. For restorative justice to be successful, employees and managers need to be able to express concerns freely. P2 believed that restorative justice can be very effective with the right resources in the right environment. P2 followed this up by stating that due to a lack of appropriate staffing, resources, and training, restorative justice often fails. P6 confirms that creating the right environment leads to successful solutions when the participants stated, I have seen it work well with teachers and administrators when a feeling of safety and comfort was achieved, so teachers felt they could express systematic issues. Personal issues are more difficult. It is easy for one to feel ganged up on, etc. P7 provided experience for conditions and effectiveness of a safe environment. I noticed that the effectiveness of restorative justice practices is grounded in the values and principles of RJ. Repairing harm, justice to restore those who are injured, and to build community safety and social harmony. By increasing respectful communication with mutual understanding and fostering respectful dialogue leads to improving, building, strengthening, and maintaining and repairing relationships. I saw this in my work with RJ, starting with schools and young people, to repair those harms through meaningful accountability, and moving through working in private organizations, municipalities, and state and county organizations, where the circle process worked effectively in solving parties who have been harmed. A safe environment in restorative justice is an area that provides individuals to communicate freely and respectfully. An environment that upholds restorative justice principles will effectively solve issues between parties. P2 elaborated that the importance of creating the right environment is that a lack of understanding of restorative justice leads to poor training and inappropriate staff, which leads to poor results. Theme 3, Upper Management. Theme 3 is that restorative justice depends on upper management. Upper management has a responsibility to create the structures that induce the growth of the company. P1 explained that the number one reason that associates leave is because they leave bosses and not companies usually. P3 provided information on how a top-down leadership creates success in restorative justice practices. When a restorative culture is cultivated from leadership to line staff, there is a foundation for grace in conflict resolution. There is research that speaks to the benefits of feeling connected to people we work with related to retention and positive perspe- perceptions of the workplace. Leadership depends on working with upper management to create the parameters of restorative justice so that the successful outcomes are achieved. P2 noted that we also have a huge gap between departments, and the gap needs to be bridged. Communication problems between departments, such as upper management and middle management, will lead to unsuccessful restorative justice outcomes. Upper management executes the principles of the leader. Upper management should also keep communication open to all associates, even non-management employees. Upper management needs to be the glue to hold the systems, principles, and values of restorative justice together. Theme 4 demonstrates awareness by spreading knowledge. Theme 4 is about demonstrating awareness by spreading knowledge. Restorative justice is effective by demonstrating awareness by spreading knowledge in education, training, literature, investing in training and resources, clearly defining the process of restorative justice. P1 believed that management classes in college need to perform better at teaching this in the business classes and integrating it in those classes. More books, internet postings, and web access to be produced to make this a wider known area. Businesses need to provide more training on this and put methods in the policy and procedure manuals on how to perform the process. Businesses need to reduce the amount of work on managers so that they have time to perform restorative justice procedures. P2 stated that investing in training and counseling staff and choosing the appropriate staff for each position. P7 supported the ideas of P1 and P2 by talking about it, using it in schools, work, home, life, etc. Doing the work in dissertations like I did, keeping restorative justice alive is the key. P7 continued with stating, to this point, we need more data to show how well restorative justice programs work in prisons, schools, and in the workplace. I do know we need to have more circles for discussions and policies, in schools for even homework and any important topic of discussion to use in the workplace as a way to change the way we treat one another. Have more training on restorative justice. People will use it more if they know exactly what it is and the effectiveness of the process. We need to continue to trust the process. Participants agreed that spreading the knowledge about restorative justice is imperative. The knowledge about restorative justice is not widely known because most individuals think punitive punishment is the only organizational justice method. The more organizations research and develop restorative justice in an organization, the more knowledgeable access individuals and organizations will be able to obtain, along with the training and experiencing the effects of restorative justice firsthand, will create a shift in conscious thought to move to a different form of justice that focuses on healing instead of retribution. How much time have I utilized here? Where are we? Okay, so I'm going to do this theme 5, and I'm going to stop today, and then tomorrow, I believe, or next week, I believe we'll be able to wrap this last chapter up, I think. We'll find out. I think the themes are the last part, but let's go ahead and get theme 5 in. Theme 5 is that the harmer becomes self-aware. The harmer should become self-aware about how their actions affected the person harmed, other people, organizations, and society. P10 stated, the definition of restorative justice is certainly on the empathetic bulletin board. The concept plus the individual's realization of the personal scope of their offense needs awareness during the offender's pre-trial stage for clarity, thus reaching beyond the offender's reason for the offense. P6 aligned with P10 by stating restorative justice is a set of principles and practices that focuses on repairing the harm caused by the wrongdoer rather than solely punishing the offender. It emphasizes healing and rebuilding relationships, promoting accountability, and addressing the needs of all parties involved, including victims, offenders, and the community. P7 experienced the effectiveness. P7 experienced the effectiveness, harmer becoming self-aware. In my experience from writing my dissertation on bullying, using restorative justice practices, and in my research to actual practicing it in schools and in the workplace, I notice that the effectiveness of restorative justice practices is grounded in the values of principles of restorative justice. Repairing harm, repairing harm, justice to restore those who are injured, and to build community safety and social harmony by increasing respectful communication with mutual understanding and fostering respectful dialogue leads to improving, building, and strengthening, maintaining, and repairing relationships. I saw this in my work with restorative justice with schools and young people to repair those harms through meaningful accountability and moving through working in private organizations, municipalities, and state and county organizations where the circle process worked effectively by solving parties who had been harmed. The harmer becoming self-aware is an important part of the restorative justice process. Healing occurs instead of punishing the harmer. The healing process advances consciousness to higher levels that also include society, the affected person, and the organization. The harmer becoming self-aware ends the process of revenge and retribution that would have continued if healing did not occur. Restorative justice aims to break the cycle of negativity and, by doing so, integrates and transforms all areas connected to the situation. Whew. Okay, so theme 6, theme 7, theme 8, and theme 9, we can look forward to next week. Alright. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this portion, and I will see you next week with this. I am coming out with YouTube Shorts a lot, so if you want to give those a try, I'm going to be doing shorts to all my videos that I've ever done, so, yeah. It's just something to do right now in the meantime. And it's getting attention, and people are following, and I got new subscribers for doing it, so yeah. Anyway, well, you guys have a good one, and I've finally reached 100 subscribers too, so that's a big marker, I guess. And you guys have a good one. Peace out, and bye.